Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday. I can't believe it's already the end of September. It's so crazy to me that it's already the 27th. So crazy. Anyways, so today we're going to do an update on Ricky a little bit earlier. The nurse called me. I don't know, like about an hour ago. I don't know, 45 minutes ago maybe. So we are going to, look at that. I got this spicy elotes, the spicy corn broth. Ooh, maybe I'll try that today actually. As you guys hop on, just say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. Where are the prayers coming from? I'm going to talk to Ricky here in a little bit. So if you have anything specific you want me to tell him, now would be a good time to say it. So today is day 20 for him in ICU. I got a couple messages, one specifically, and he was like, I've been following your story. What exactly is wrong with him? And I'm like, well, if you've been following this story, you should know. But to each their own. Anyway, so for those of you guys who are new or who are hopping on middle of this, I don't even know what to call it. This saga. I don't know what to call this. Anyway, my husband, Ricky, so, hi, my name's Jenny. I live in Sumner, Washington. I'm married to my husband, Ricky, and we have 5 kids. They range from 19 to 5, 4 boys and a girl. I got sick with COVID, like the 23rd of last month. It took me out for about a week. But then I came back. I still have this stupid cough that apparently takes a long time to go away from everything that I've read and everybody that I've talked to. But my husband, however, was not so lucky. So he, obviously must have gotten it from me or somebody he was around while I was gone. And, he had the same symptoms, was doing the same things as I was when I first got it. And then we were about 10 days in, and I said, this isn't getting any better. We've got to go to the hospital. So the day after his birthday, I took him to the emergency room. I was able to take him inside, and then they kicked me out of the room after they got some questions from me, and then they kicked me out of the hospital because there are no visitors whatsoever allowed. So that was the last time I've seen or talked to him. 6 hours later, they called me and said that he'd been moved to a bigger hospital. He had been medically paralyzed and he had been put on a ventilator. So it's now been 20 days since I've heard his voice, 20 days since I've physically seen him. Yeah, it's been a really long time. So anyway, so today, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. I don't exactly know what God's preparing me for. But he keeps telling me to rest. He keeps telling me rest. And I'm like, okay, you're starting to freak me out, but I'm going to rest. So, after I took the boys to school, I laid down on the couch and literally just passed out for like 2 hours until my phone rang. And it was the hospital calling. And if any of you have ever had a loved one in ICU or in the hospital at all, I guess, during this whole pandemic situation, you're not allowed to be at the hospital. You're not allowed to be with them. At least in the hospital he's at in ICU, I am not allowed to see him. I am not allowed to be there. I'm not allowed to do any of those things. And so, where was I going with that? I don't know, I done lost my train of thought. Anyway, so when the hospital calls you, instead of you calling the hospital, it's almost never good news because they're so busy that they don't call you. I hear from a doctor like once every 3 or 4 days. And most of the time it's just me calling and getting updates from the nurses. They never call me. So when the phone rang today, I was like, oh, here we go. But it was actually his nurse calling because she was worried about me because I hadn't called. So there's a little comedy in there. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. I'm like, my husband is your patient, yet you're going to call on me because I'm not ringing the phone off the hook. That's funny. I guess that just means that I'm doing a good job, right? If I'm not laughing, I'm crying, y'all. So if I seem a little sadistic today, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, so he's doing okay. He's doing about the same as he was yesterday. They did, he's not had any fevers or anything. Those have been pretty much gone. He still is on the antibiotics just in case. He did have a CT scan, which actually she knew nothing about until I brought it up, which was kind of funny. She's like, oh, well, let me, see what's going on. Let me see. She's like, I can't, what'd she say? I can't explain it, but I can read you what, CT wrote in his chart. So, his liver is enlarged. His kidneys are okay. His pancreas, is okay. His adrenal glands are okay. His spleen is also enlarged. So she said she hasn't seen the doctor yet. He was still rounding, and that was like an hour ago. So they might have seen him by now, but, she said other than what, they said in the notes, she can't really tell me anything. Plus she's like, I really honestly can't say anything. I said, no, that's totally fine. So, I'll call later and see if there's any updates from the doctor. The plan, I always say plan because you never know. The plan is that tomorrow, they will remove the vent and put in a trach, do the tracheostomy tomorrow. So hopefully that actually takes place and we can start getting him stronger. They did realize when they did the CT scan that his abdominal walls or his stomach walls were a little inflamed, and that the feeding tube that they've had him on for the last 20 days, he was not actually digesting the food. Shocker. Wonder why he's losing weight. Anyway, so it was just sitting in his stomach. That's why his stomach was distended. That's why his feeding tube wasn't actually using anything. Anyway, so they started him on a new medication that will help him digest the nutrients that they are giving him. So pray that his stomach wakes up and does the thing it needs to do, or that we can just changes need to be made, and I don't know what those changes are. Jesus knows what those changes are. I do not. So until he tells me what those changes are, I'm just in the car. So anyway, yeah, I'm thinking that's why he's so weak, is just because they are giving him little bit, they're just giving him enough to keep him going, and then he's not even digesting that. So hopefully that's the answer to a lot of the questions. All right. So let's see. Today, this one is mine. Be still and know. This one's my daily devotion, so we're going to go ahead and read it together. Let's see. September 27th, your eyes will see. Your eyes will see the King in his beauty. They will behold a far distant land. Isaiah 33:17. On the difficult days when your faith is weak, our tears flow freely and our hearts are discouraged. We wish just to see God. We think that if we could look into his eyes, have the chance to ask him our deepest questions and hear them answered, then we could continue on. I would agree with that statement. Beloved, the reality of heaven is closer than we can imagine. We will see our King in all his greatness and his beauty. We will look upon that distant land of heaven. We will one day dwell there in peace, with every question answered and every tear dried. Thank you, God, that you have promised heaven to me through my belief in your Son. Thank you that I will see your face one day and walk with you in your kingdom. When the days are hard, help me to remember that in just a little while, all will be well and I will be with you. Well, if that doesn't make your soul calm, I like that one today. Oh, let's see. Today, this one is Ricky's. So this is the one that he reads and I read to him when I call. This one says, a putt, a pad, but no peace. Okay. John 14, verse 25 through 31. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. John 14:27. Somebody sent that to me today. Or last night. Somebody sent that to me. Sorry, I'm like, wait a minute, I've read this. Let's see. I've helped at many funeral services, but the one I did for a member of a motorcycle gang was by far the most memorable. It was held in a park where there's a natural grassy bowl surrounding a small lake. The man's friends parked their bikes in a circle and sat on the grass while a friend and I conducted the service. We spoke simply about the inner peace that Jesus' love can bring. Afterward, a motorcycle gang member thanked us, started to walk away, but then turned back. He said that he had a putt, a pad, and an old lady, a bike, apartment, and girlfriend, and then added, but I ain't got no peace. So we talked about Jesus, who is our peace. Are you leaving? Whether you've got a chopper or a Lexus, a mansion or a tiny apartment, a loved one or no one, it makes no difference. Without Jesus, there is no peace. He said, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. This gift is for all who trust in him. Have you asked for his peace? Well, that's kind of in your face a little bit, isn't it? I've definitely asked for his peace on a daily basis because holy cow, there's days that I just wake up with it and I'm like, you know what? God's got this. Everything's going to be fine. It's just going to be another day. And then there are days where I'm like, holy heck, like you got to help me here. I need some help. I have no peace whatsoever. I'm a freaking lunatic. I'm like pacing the floor. So definitely it's like a minute by minute situation sometimes. So if you don't have that peace, you have to ask for it like on a daily minute by minute basis if that's what you need, because I know what it feels like to not have that peace, and I would not want to live my life like that. I would not want to live in that like heart pounding, like electricity flowing through your veins, like you literally can't do anything kind of feeling. Ooh, I would not want to do that. And that is the feeling I have when I don't have peace. So if you are in that space right now, if you have any kind of like, oh, I'm feeling anxiety, or I'm feeling, you know, like a little panicky, or I'm feeling this, or I'm feeling that, just stop. Just ask for peace. Because that is not a fun feeling. It's not a good feeling at all. And he can give you peace. He'll give you peace and he'll let you rest. I think that's been the biggest thing for me during this time is I'm normally the one that's always in control. I mean, hi, I'm the mom. I've got 5 kids and a crazy husband and crazy dogs, you know? So if I'm not in control, then this house is just, it's not good, y'all. It is not good. And so, releasing my control over the situation has definitely been a struggle. But now it's almost like I just do as I'm told. Like, he tells me to rest, I take a nap. He tells me, get up and do this, I get up and do this. It's kind of nice. I don't have to think about it. I just have to pray about it. So if you are like, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to do it, just stop. Sit down, tell God what's going on in your head and say, I need peace. I need peace. Help me figure this out. You might not like the answer. Just saying, you might not like the answer. Be careful what you pray for. But like, I didn't ask for patience. I did not pray that I needed patience. Okay. That was not something I prayed about. It was not something I asked for, but he just decided to throw that in as a bonus feature. So, be careful what you pray for. But if that's something that you need is peace, just ask. Just ask. It's very mind-bending. I work in a hospital, so being on the opposite side is very different. Thank you for sharing everything you're going through. Yeah, I can't imagine. It's funny. I told the social worker that called me last week, she calls every Friday to check on me and make sure everything's okay, make sure I'm getting the updates that I'm wanting and that kind of thing. And I said, it's really weird is that the nurses that are travel nurses seem to have this bedside manner that is massive compared to the nurses that are there all the time. And I said, I can only imagine that comes from knowing that this specific situation and what they're doing here is coming to an end at some point. Where the other nurses and the other hospital staff, they never know. It's just going to be another day from hell for them. Like, I could not imagine being the go-between between patients and their families. Like, I literally could not imagine having to be that person. I think I would just want to be on the phone with them like 24/7, like just have them on the phone while I was sitting there. And I think that's because I'm on this side, right? Like, I'm not at the bedside with the patients. I'm not trying to flip them on their back and on their forward and run meds and do all of these things. But I cannot imagine being any kind of nurse or therapist or anything right now because it literally is like hell. I can only imagine because of what I've been through the last 20 days and hearing and feeling the way I felt. I would think that working in a hospital right now would literally be working in hell. And so I always thank them like profusely. I'm like, thank you so much for everything that you do. I can't even imagine what you're going through. And it's, you see all these nurses that are quitting their jobs because of the, not wanting to get the thing. But I'm like, are they really quitting because of that? Or are they really quitting because it's like literally sucking the joy out of their soul? Like, could you imagine going to work every day where you're you're getting people better, you're sending them home. It's all, you know, every day it's a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better, till now where it's just not. It's just, they come in, they're sick, and that's it. You're not sending nearly as many of them home to their loved ones as you are to Jesus. Like, could you imagine what that does to someone's soul, especially if they're not saved? Like, if they don't believe in Jesus and they don't know where these people are going, could you imagine what that's doing to their soul? Like, I could not. So, that's definitely people that I pray for every day, is the nurses and the doctors, because I couldn't imagine doing their job right now. I wouldn't want to do their job right now. It's one of the reasons why I got out of healthcare when I did. I didn't want to do it anymore. So, anyways, that was kind of ending on a dreary note, but I just love and appreciate you guys all so much for hanging out, for the prayers, for the messages, for all of the things. It's been a really hard 20 days, but we're praying that he will come home healthy. He may be weak, but he's going to come home healthy. And God just keeps telling me to rest. So to me, that just means I have to rest up, because I'm going to have a lot to do when Ricky comes home. That's the way my mind works. So I'm like, okay, I will rest for you. I will rest for you as much as you want me to. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hopping on. I love y'all. And I will update you guys again tomorrow. Hopefully it will be that he has a trach in and that stupid vent is out of his throat. So love you all. Thank you so much for the prayers. Thank you so much for the messages, and so much for just the love and appreciation. I love you all so much, and I will see you later.